Ever feel like your job is just not what you were born to do? You might ask that question at any time in your career. Laura at Benbridge corporate office in Seattle asked herself that question at an early age. Her answer turned out to define her career.
Do what you're passionate about. Find the thing that makes you happiest and what you're doing in your job and follow that path. I've been able to.
G'day and welcome to A Cut Above. I'm your host, Ken Grant. This podcast features the inspirational voices of women and men who keep Benbridge, America's finest jeweler, a cut above the rest. Laura is a native Washingtonian and a Washington State University alum. Benbridge was Laura's first job and she liked it a lot.
Well, on October 20th will be 39 years, so a lifetime.
39.
Yes.
Straight out of high school, obviously.
Oh, you're a dear.
39.
The only job I've ever had.
Taking what she thought would just be a summer job after college, Laura soon learned about the Benbridge culture.
I came at a really good time, 1980, when the company was going through some big changes, and there were some great opportunities. And after spending a summer, they sort of offered me a position I couldn't refuse, and I decided to stay.
What was your first position?
I worked for the senior buyer there as her assistant.
So you went from assistant to becoming that job?
Yes.
In how many months?
About 3 years.
Okay.
About 3 years.
Okay, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And you've had that same position ever since?
I really have. Although the position has really changed and grown, it's not always been the same.
Yeah, okay. How many presidents have you gone through?
Well, I started with Herb and Bob, and now Ed and John, and now Lisa.
Many years after buying into Benbridge's people-first empowering culture, Laura says she's still living the dream. The dream job, that is.
Being the fashion buyer, honestly, is the best job in the company. So I get to buy all the beautiful pearls and gold and diamond fashion. I also buy all the gemstones and the versatility of it. I don't have to choose any one category.
And you travel a lot, is that correct?
I do travel a lot. And because of that travel, because of the buying, the type of buying I do, I have to travel to different places, depending on what we're looking for, shopping for.
Like?
Italy a couple times a year for the gold. Most of our gold is Italian, and we've developed our Toscano collection from the Italian manufacturers. I spend time in Hong Kong and China for the diamond product and gem, the Tucson Gem Show. And then also we go to India for diamond.
So I love the fact that you said have to. Have to, like it's a chore to go to Asia and Italy?
I enjoy it. I love the people I work with. The travel's a little more difficult than it used to be, but I'm not as young as I used to be.
That's awesome. Loving the people she works with. Relationship building. It's Laura's approach to making Benbridge the cut above.
I'm a people person, definitely, and I'm a relationship-based person, whether it's the people that work in my department with me really closely or the vendors I've worked with for 30-plus years. And I have a big family and a lot of close friends, so I think relationships are really important to me.
But you don't work directly with the customer, correct?
Not very often.
Walk us through a great story that involved an amazing vendor.
Oh, I have a lot of those. I have a lifetime of those. I think one of the newest and freshest ones in my mind are these two young gentlemen from India who have both grown up in family businesses that are 5 generations old in the diamond and gemstone business. And they're seeing that the world is changing and they need to make some change. So they both left their family businesses, which is really unusual, and started their own gemstone business. And they really speak to what the consumer wants. They understand what the buyer's looking for now. And I'm really excited to work with them.
Let's flip that question. What's the worst vendor relationship you've ever seen, and how did you turn that into a positive? What's a nightmare story that ended up having a happy ending?
I don't like nightmare stories, but there's one particular vendor that will we'll leave
Yes, I'm
unnamed,
sure we will.
that has such an ego that I feel like even having worked with them for 30 plus years, it's very hard to develop a relationship with. So we just kill them with kindness constantly and treat them with respect and hope in turn someday they'll treat us the same way.
It won't, but I love the fact that you're at least being optimistic. Tell us, when did you realize that you were in the people business? Is there a moment in time when you're like, phew, I love this?
I think every day, even just being in the office or being surrounded by all the people every day that we see, I really enjoy people, and it's a people business. And then when we hear, particularly about a sale or a particular piece of gemstone that I purchased that I just love, and I talk to the salesperson that just sold it, and they tell me about the person that bought it, and it just makes me so happy. So this is definitely a people business.
It seems like you'd have to be a people person to even love this business.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
What do you think a word would be that best describes you that a friend or colleague would use for you?
Well, I'm pretty social, maybe to a fault sometimes. So I have a lot of friends and I have a big family and I enjoy all of them and love it all. Can't get enough of it.
So it seems like that's what drives you at work.
Absolutely.
As much as it does in life.
Absolutely.
If you're not having a social time, I mean, it sounds like already that's what makes you not only good at your job, but makes those around you comfortable. Who doesn't want to be part of a party?
That's exactly right. That's how I feel.
So everywhere you go, you're throwing a dinner party basically in your mind?
That's right.
How do you think you learnt the ability to be the party planner?
I think growing up in a big family, somebody needs to take charge, and I think I was kind of pushed into the role a bit, and I really just enjoy people. I've always enjoyed people. I find them fascinating, all kinds of people. So that's how I kind of fell into that. Big family, somebody needed to take charge and make the decisions. Same with my group of high school friends, my group of college friends. And so I think that's how that happened.
Laura's constant hope is that her social, celebratory, party-like style as a manager brings out work joy in her teammates, which helps them achieve, even exceed their potential.
I hope I'm a good manager. I really love the people that work for me and how hard they work. They're just an amazing group of women. I have all women right now that are working directly with me, and I hope I'm a good manager. I really respect them. I try to show my appreciation. They're all really hardworking people. I think every day, even just being in the office or being surrounded by all the people every day that we see, I really enjoy people, and it's a people business. And then when we hear, particularly about a sale or a particular piece of gemstone that I purchased that I just love, and I talk to the salesperson that just sold it, and they tell me about the person that bought it, and it just makes me so happy. So this is definitely a people business.
The idea, the practice of high energy, constant support not only helps her team achieve success, it helps them get through hard times. What does failure look like to you?
Can I say I've not really experienced much failure in my life?
You can even whisper that if you prefer.
I'm whispering it. I can't think of a big failure. What does it look like to me? Maybe a failed relationship, I think, with an associate, maybe somebody in my department. I can't really think that I've had one. But again, it's about people. So a failure with people would be.
I think you should write a book about optimism.
Okay.
Or a book about mentoring.
I think of a particular professor I had in school, a philosophy professor, who just made me think outside the box a lot about seeing the world in a different way. There's this lovely, lovely gentleman who's a huge part of my life here at Ben Bridge, Herb Bridge. I mean, I sat outside of his office for 10 years and noticed that he started every single day of his day calling somebody on the phone and wishing them a good day. Somebody who was in the hospital, somebody who was going in for a surgery. And this was a super duper important big man. And yet he started his day thinking about other people first.
So what have we learnt from Laura? Get to know and enjoy fascinating friends in and outside the company. Allow yourself to always be fascinated by people. You do that, grow and celebrate relationships everywhere and anywhere, And as Laura discovered, you can have a happy life and a fulfilling career.